I want to talk about Wizard Liz and Tammy Hembro, two influencers online who recently their marriages have ended in divorce. I'm going to start with Wizard Liz. Wizard Liz is an influencer online on YouTube who has gone like mega viral for sharing advice about self-help, growth, high standards, leveling up, and all of that. I have always respected her advice and watched her online from afar. I've never watched a full YouTube video of hers. I'll be honest, it's because she's in her 20s. I liked the things she was saying. I thought it would be great for women in their 20s to hear that and to learn from it. But as a woman in her 30s, I just knew that she's too young and that she doesn't know it all. There comes a point in your life where you need someone who has experience to get advice from them. Someone who is, I think at that point, she was like 24 when she went viral, or 23. That is technically only 3 to 4 years as an adult. So know that she's also a human and young and making mistakes and going to make mistakes. The shock and outrage to the fact that she made a mistake shouldn't have been as crazy as it is. I mean, I was upset by it and disappointed, of course, but was I absolutely shocked that a 24-year-old made a mistake? I wasn't. Even in her videos, she doesn't fully embrace Shira Seven's advice. Shira Seven's advice is always expect the worst from men. You have to expect the worst. Are you going to want the worst from them? Are you going to seek the worst from them? No. You're obviously going to have high standards, attract the best, get the most. But even then, even when you are having the highest standards, even when you are doing the most and expecting the most, you still have to be realistic and expect people to screw up, people to make mistakes. And if you live in a dream world where you believe that if your standards are high enough, you're never going to get cheated on, you are setting yourself up for failure, because when or if it does happen, you will break. Obviously, we can't see online what exactly Wizard Liz is going through, but as someone who has been 25, who has been heartbroken before, who has been disappointed and failed over and over again by a man, I can tell you that she's not doing well behind the scenes. I'm sure there are moments where she feels so great and happy and gratitude and all of that. But at the end of the day, she put her trust into this man. She married him. She got pregnant by him. She trusted him and believed truly that this man was not going to do to her what we have seen so many men do time and time again. The mindset that this won't happen to me is a little bit naive, because how could you see this happen to so many people and think this will not happen to me? I'm with the perfect man that's not going to do that. No man is perfect, just like no woman is perfect. How could you bet your life on someone not failing, not screwing up, and not giving into their literal natural desires? Men are much more sexual than us. Men are much more lustful than us. To expect them never to make a mistake or never to screw up or never to give into it is putting yourself at risk of heartbreak, disappointment, and exactly what you're watching happen. No one's husband is perfect. No one can sit there and say, my husband, absolutely, I'd bet my life he'd never cheat on me. It's not true. I don't share every single detail of my life and what I've been through and what I've experienced in this world, but I can tell you, even the best guys, the most good, nerdy men who you think would never, okay, like first of all, men who you think would never even get a girl outside of his marriage or be able to pull a girl outside of his marriage, they are cheating, and they have cheated, or they are having a fling. It happens. They make mistakes, they screw up. I've seen really, really good, intended, nerdy men screw up and make the mistake of having an affair. And I'm sure to this day, their wives don't know, and their wives would never guess. They're with such a nerdy, not attractive guy. But when the opportunity comes, they'll do it. In most cases, at least once. And if you want to live in a world where you think that's not true and that's not possible to happen to you, you're setting yourself up for failure. You need to have a backup plan, a plan B. What if he does? Two types of stay-at-home moms. There's the stay-at-home moms that completely and fully depend on their husband. They don't pursue any sort of dream, any sort of online business, any sort of way to make money outside of his income coming in. Those stay-at-home moms. And as soon as they get cheated on or treated badly or disrespected and they want to leave, they can't, because they're dependent. And then there are the stay-at-home moms who are smart. They allow their husband to provide, but at the same time, they still pursue some type of financial independence and goals so that if and when the time comes, they're prepared and they're ready. A mentality of always being ready to leave, he can feel that. He can feel that. He will know, oh my God, she's ready to leave at any point. I gotta be on my best behavior. That type of thinking will actually put somebody in line, will actually prevent them most likely from bad behavior because they know that you are prepared to make them pay the consequences. Am I surprised about Wizard Liz? Absolutely not. I don't think any woman over the age of 30 was surprised. We all felt bad. We were all disappointed. We all, mourned for the women in their 20s who were finding out what we learned years ago, that you have to expect that this will happen and could happen to you. And it doesn't matter how beautiful you are, how smart you are, how high your standards are, this could happen to you at some point. Men do not play by the same rules as us. They don't think the same way as we do. They don't love the same way as we do. It's just not in their human nature. There are amazing men out there, great, who make great husbands, great providers. They're wonderful people, but are they perfect and completely infallible and will never make a mistake? Will never fall into their desires? No. I'm telling you that. I'm telling you, as a woman in her 30s who has seen quite a lot, men make mistakes, women make mistakes. So be prepared for men to make mistakes. And a lot of their mistakes have to do with infidelity. Naturally, they are very, very sexual. They're thinking about sex all the time. I have a video about this. And I just want women in their 20s to know that when you're listening to an influencer, just understand that they're not perfect, especially when they're in their 20s, that they're going to make mistakes too. Don't crash and burn when you find out that the person that you idolized online wasn't a perfect robot. The hate on Wizard Liz for not being a perfect robot at age 25 is insane. She's so young. She was bound to make a mistake. It's unfortunate that the mistake was so big that, she ended up engaged, married, and having a kid, selling her home all within a year. Yeah, that was a big mistake. She's learned a lifetime of lessons in that mistake, and I can guarantee you she won't make it again. She won't rush into a marriage again. She won't rush into having a kid again. Did she make the mistake? Of course she did. She's in her 20s. She made a mistake. She also had a very difficult, traumatizing childhood. She had a very bad father figure, and that also leads to you making mistakes and as you grow up because you've never actually been around a healthy masculine figure. To this day, like, I really don't have any family members who are men who I look up to as like, this is a type of husband that I want. I know what type of person I would want, but it's not through my family. So I had to learn the hard way, just like Wizard Liz. So have a little bit of kindness and understanding. You're all in your 20s, and people in their 20s make mistakes. It's inevitable. And if you're in life and you're making zero mistakes, you're not living. You're supposed to make mistakes in life. That's how you learn. And she made a mistake in her 20s and she's going to learn. And she gets a child out of this. And I'm telling you, there is no greater gift on this earth than a child, especially if you're financially stable and can take care of that kid. Obviously, if you're homeless and you have a kid, that's not it. That's not going to be great experience. If you have the means to take care of a kid and you have one, like myself, I have 2 kids and I'm a single mom. It's the best gift on earth. Nothing will level you up and raise your standards and raise your sense of self-love and self-worth like having children, because they teach you love that is so unconditional and so pure. It changes you. Yeah, she made a mistake, but she's gotten the greatest gift out of it, and she's going to learn. And to women in their 30s and 40s who are posting and hating on her and listen, you were that age too, and you probably messed up too. Understand that this girl is in her 20s. She's very young. Like, look at her. To me, she looks like a teenager still. Like, she's so young. And it doesn't surprise me that what happened to her happened, because she never once endorsed fully what Shira 7 says, that you can't bet your life on the fact or on the belief that your man won't cheat. You can't bet your life on that because it could happen. He could make a mistake. You're gonna bet your life on that? No. So anyone who's not agreeing with that is going to make a mistake. Okay, next. Tammy Hembro. Hey, Tammy. Tammy, girl, what are you doing? What are you doing, girl? I'm here and I love you. I love this girl's content. She's just a few years younger than me. I've been following her since she was pregnant with her first child. I have loved watching this girl. She is just the best mom you'll ever find online. I truly believe she's one of the best online influencer mothers. She doesn't revolve her channel around her kids, even though she could. She does everything for them. They are the center of her universe. Even though she's this crazy, hopeless, romantic woman, none of that gets between her and her kids. Like, she still puts her kids first, even in these unpredictable relationships she's been in. Always revolves everything around her children. So will I judge her for all of these men that she's been with? No. I won't judge her for the fact that she's always kept her kids as her priority in her life and her business as her priority in her life. Her business has always been skyrocketing no matter who she's been with. It's been her priority. She has her priorities straight. Come after the girl all you want, but you can't call her broke and you can't call her a bad mom. Call her dumb when it comes to relationships, naive. I think she accepts at this point that information too. You can't call her broke and you can't call her a bad mom. She's an amazing mother and she's rich as hell because she always keeps her money up. At the end of the day, is these two are the most important things as women: your kids and your money. And if you don't have kids, then it's your health and you and your money. She keeps herself looking good too. I cannot criticize her too much. All I can say is she is now hopefully going to embrace Shira 7 and accept that hopeless love and hopeless romance is not going to feed whatever void she's trying to fill in her. That will only be fed through herself and through her children and the love she has for herself and her children. It has to be enough for her to fill whatever she's trying to fill through male romance, hopeless romantic love, or whatever she's looking for. All she needs to do is watch Shira 7 videos and understand that she is out of the league of a lot of men because she is a very rich and powerful woman in Australia. At least she's very powerful there. Because of that, most men will be intimidated by her, jealous of her, and resentful of her. Even if they don't want to be, they will be. Sure, when the men she dates goes in public with her, she's the center of attention everywhere they go, and he's kind of like looking like arm candy. Deep down, men don't like that. They want to feel like the provider, the one who is in control of the situation, the one who is taking care of things. And these men don't feel like that around her because she is the most successful, smart woman. What does she need to do? If she is going to be with the man again, she needs to be with the man who's 10 times richer than her, 10 times more powerful than her, so that when he's around her, he doesn't feel intimidated by her. She's going for guys who are down below her and not men who are above her in terms of wealth and success. And that will inevitably always fail. That is another piece of Shira 7's advice that Wizard Liz and that Tammy don't listen to, is that if you make more than him, you're more powerful than him. If he thinks you are more powerful than him, have more money than him, and don't need him in any way, shape, or form, then he's going to go around a woman that makes him feel powerful. This is the truth. It sucks. I know it. I know it. I hated to realize this was true, but it's the truth. I don't live my life based on what I wish to be the truth. I go along my life based on what I know to be the truth. I judge her naiveness. I judge her, kindness, that she really wished and hoped that this world did have a perfect romantic love for her. Yes. But will she learn eventually that that doesn't exist and that she needs to pursue something more than that to fill that void? Loving herself and her kids only, and to only seek from men more than what she already has. Yeah, that's my opinion. Honestly, I'm not going to sit here and blab on. She's learned in many of those relationships that she's been in, common denominator is none of the guys have been richer than her or more successful than her. It's always been the one where he's moving in with her, she's driving in her cars. I've never seen her drive in a car of a guy that she's been with. I've never seen her in the house of a guy that she's been with, having a better house than her. It's always been her who is the richer one. And that's definitely, absolutely the main part of the problem, is that she's not going above herself, she's going below herself. You cannot downgrade when you're a woman. Men will either bring you up or bring you down. And if he's not bringing you up, he's bringing you down. So all of these men, unfortunately, whether intending to or not, are bringing her down. And then it fails. The last thing I'm going to say is the good thing about her is she leaves. She leaves when it doesn't work, and she doesn't stay in hope. Realizes when it doesn't work, and it's been a few months after marriage, and she's obviously realized, and she's left. In and of itself, it deserves a lot of respect, because there are women like me who have stayed for 8 years, and she's been in that relationship, for that marriage, for 4 months. And I think that is an honorable thing to do, to leave as soon as you can, especially when you have kids, so you don't drag them down in an emotional turmoil with you. And that's my celebrity influencer gossip for the day. Like, comment, and subscribe if you like this video. And yeah, bye.